Seeking natural solutions for your health and wellness? Look no further than Garden Root Remedy. We offer handcrafted herbal tinctures, salves, teas, and more made with only the highest quality organic herbs. We provide personalized consultations to help you find the perfect herbal remedy for your specific needs. Experience the power of nature's healing touch. Visit Garden Root Remedy online at gardenrootremedy.com. That's gardenrootremedy.com. Rooted in nature, blooming with wellness.
Gear up, level up. Tired of the same old gun shop experience? Red Team Armory is not just selling firearms. We're providing a VIP experience. Rifles, handguns, shotguns, top-tier optics, unbeatable ammo prices. We've got you covered. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, we're dedicated to helping you find the perfect setup. Fast shipping and expert advice. Visit us online at todd.redteamarmory.com. Red Team Armory. Your mission, our gear.
Attention, you're listening to the Todd Huff Radio Show, America's home for conservative, not bitter talk radio. Be advised that the content of this program has been documented to prevent and even cure liberalism, and listening may cause you to lean to the right. Here's your conservative, but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
Well, that is right, my friends. You have tuned in to America's home for conservative, not bitter talk. I am your host, Todd Huff. It is a pleasure to be here today. Email, should you want to be part of the conversation, todd@toddhuffshow.com. Or if you prefer, you can reach out to us at 317-210-2830. 317-210-2830. I want to talk about Spartacus today. This, to me, is a incredibly teachable moment here that we have right before our very eyes as we look at this political landscape, my friends. It is truly remarkable what's going on out there and what actually is considered good for the radical left. I know Oz is giving me some stuff here. I don't know what to do with what here, Oz. So anyway, just do my best here. So before we get going and get into that, my friends, let me begin by asking you, if you are in sales, if you have a sales system, because if you don't, you are leaving money on the table. That's why I'm a big believer in Matt Easton and Easton University. They have developed a tremendous sales training program. It's one of the best that I've personally ever seen. I've dealt with some good sales trainers. I think Matt is in that group and possibly the best that I've ever worked with, which is quite the compliment. It's practical, it's proven, it's designed to help deliver results, my friends. Whether you're new to sales, a seasoned pro, the system helps you close more deals, make more money, take control of your career. And if you sign up to be a student of Easton University here through our partnership here with Matt Easton at the Todd Huff Show, you will get a personal phone call with him, and he will walk you through your sales challenges and help you get started with the program. It's exclusive to you, my friends, listeners of this program. toddhuffshow.com/Easton. That's where you'll go. toddhuffshow.com/Easton, EASTON, to sign up to be a student, whether you as an individual or as an entire sales team. This stuff is good, my friends. toddhuffshow.com/Easton. Take that first step today. You will not regret it, my friends. All right, let's talk about Senator Spartacus. Now, for those of you who don't know, Senator Spartacus is the name that I would say I call Senator Cory Booker, but the reality is he calls himself that. If you go back in time to 2018, when he and the other leftists on the in the Senate were going through hearings with Brett Kavanaugh, he made the comment that this is his Spartacus moment. That's right, my friends. He is going to stop the tyrannical dictator of Donald Trump. This was back, 6-7 years ago now, 2018, to stop Brett Kavanaugh. Of course, they did not stop Brett Kavanaugh. And on top of that, they made mockery of the system and fools of themselves in the process. This is kind of born out of that mentality and just the general approach that the left has with this, I guess, way of doing things. So I want to play. So Spartacus was up there talking.
Because it is official, Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey.
Got my soundbite. Hold on here. He was up there talking for 25 hours. He set the record, my friends, the longest speech in the history of the U.S. Senate. This is a longer clip from ABC. I just want you to listen how this is covered. This is delulu to me. This is delusional. This is to act like this is some sort of a major feat, accomplishment. We live in different universes. This was a guy talking, complaining, airing grievances about Trump. Same thing that they've been saying for 10 years now. He's been doing that from the podium for 25 hours. And I'm supposed to act like this is a seminal moment in American history. This is the point in time where we will see America, I guess her democracy saved and so forth. I just cannot, for the life of me, get over this. How silly this entire shenanigan is. And I'm going to play this for you as I'm making an adjustment here in the studio. So let's start by playing this clip. This is ABC News, breaking news. Cory Booker's coming to the end of his speech, 25 hours in. This would have been late, I guess, last night. At the lectern, at the podium. And I just want you to listen to some of the things that are said here. I want you to listen to just the tone of the ABC News team. I'm going to stop this and pause this as I normally do. I know some of you hate when I do that, but I'm going to do that. But I want you to get the full scope of what this silly dramacratic experience is like. So with that being said, here's the clip
the Senate record
on ABC News.
Speech. That record was once held, of course, by Strom Thurmond of South Carolina, who filibustered for 24 hours and 18 minutes against the Civil Rights Act of 1957. Let's take a listen.
Do you know how?
Okay, so they came in over it. So Booker's wrapping up. Chuck Schumer takes to the floor and says, do you know that you just broke the record? Do you know how great you are? Do you know that this is a historical moment? This is the moment we're going to, I'm putting words in his mouth to a point, but this is what he's saying. This is the message. This is the point in time that we are going to look back on and realize we saved our democracy. Again, this is an attempt by the left to try to regain the narrative. This is an attempt by the left to try to regain some sort of relevance in our nation's capital, in the U.S. Senate. Booker's kind of wiping his head. I don't know. This entire thing is just too much for me. This is the optics is all they care about, but it's such bad optics. It's embarrassing. You can't see it because you're listening on radio or podcast or whatever, but this is just remarkable. Listen to this.
Proud this caucus is of you. Do you know how proud America is of you?
Oh, we're proud. Oh, the applause. The applause is going to go on for a minute. Do you know how proud America is? Oh, he's got a Kleenex. He's wiping his eyes. Oh, and now he's wiping his head. He's got the look on his face like he's really accomplished. This is the cheering. He's holding back the tears. Oh, this is so over the top dramatic. I can't. He's just kind of shuffling back and forth. Oh, he's got his lips. He's been holding his lips together, waiting for his moment to drop whatever brilliant truth he's about to drop. Here we go. About to drop. He's holding his hand over his heart. Do not extend that arm, Cory Booker. We will call that a Nazi salute. You better put that arm straight down from there.
Senator Booker.
I'm keeping an eye on this. It went straight down. No Nazi salute there.
Or probably a mix of the two. The Democrat has been on the floor in opposition to the Trump administration since about 7 p.m. last night, criticizing the administration's spending cuts and plans to dismantle the Department of Education. Jay O'Brien joins us now from the Capitol.
Now they're going to
just listening in
have they're transitioning to their reporter
in the gallery,
who's there for this.
To make a rare exception and let you stand to show your appreciation.
Not quite yet.
I will not constrain my fellow senators.
Thank you.
I'm Chuck Schumer. I have yielded for a question, and you asked me, did I know? I know now.
Did you know how great you are? Was basically the question.
I want to not quite wrap this up yet.
Wow. 24 more, they say.
I don't want to wrap this up yet.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's senator. My mom's been watching. I know Catherine Cortez Masto has a podium in front of her. She can give me a rest. I'd like to go a little further if we can, just a little further. I love, and again, I know people are trying to train each other, and all of our media operations, they give the worst images of the people of the other party. But I want to tell you, one of the funny tweets my staff gave me is something Ted Cruz said. Is he's around 19, 20 hours, he said, maybe I should pull a fire alarm. He's going to break my record.
What's his name? Jamal. What was that?
I'm going to pause in a moment if she has a question for me to Catherine Cortez Masto, because she's my mother. But I do want to just say again, 2 points to make if I can. One is how grateful I am to my staff.
Wow.
When we decided to do this many days ago.
This is serious. He's thanking his staff. I mean, he's just.
Jay, want to bring you in there
grabbing Kleenexes
for a moment.
I just want to pause. He's thanking his staff. There's a great speech here that's given, a great standing ovation. He's got his hand on his heart. He did not, thankfully, extend the arm straight out. He actually dropped it straight to the side, so he didn't have an accidental Nazi salute there. Jamal Bowman, that's the gentleman who pulled the fire alarm there. Ted Cruz, he said, tweeted that out. I didn't see the tweet, but apparently Ted Cruz said maybe I should pull the fire alarm to keep Cory Booker from breaking my record. Who cares? Who cares about what in the world is going on here? This is so delusional and meaningless. It is pure political theater. To me, this is a case study. You have a party that's in power right now. You have an administration that's in power anyway, because I don't always know about the party itself, but the administration's in power, leading the executive branch. They have done a lot of important things already here. They've secured our border in about 5 seconds. They are pursuing free trade. They've got reciprocal tariffs that are going to be going into effect today, April 2nd, for those countries who haven't eliminated the tariffs they have on our products that are going into their countries. By the way, I did see, I haven't confirmed this, but I believe Israel has dropped the tariffs on imports coming from the United States in order to prevent reciprocating tariffs on their imports to the United States. So that's a good step in the right direction. Then you've got Doge with what they've uncovered, and I'll get into that in due course. We've talked about that a little bit. But if you paid any attention whatsoever, you would have seen that Doge is exposing all sorts of waste, all sorts of fraud, all sorts of abuse. It is mind-boggling, even for those of us who knew that this was a legitimately serious problem all of these years ago. And now that you have a party that's doing stuff, you have a party that's taking drastic action, you have a party that's shrinking the size of government. You have a party who has ambitious goals of having $1 trillion in spending, federal spending cut. Now, maybe they'll get there, maybe they won't. But that's how things get done. You set lofty goals and ambitions. You paint a vision. You get down to business. You cut all the nonsense and the shenanigans, and you begin to make real differences. And on the other side of the aisle, they have speeches. On the other side of the aisle, they have political theater. On the other side of the aisle, they have humble bragging up here by Cory Booker, Spartacus himself, just thanking his staff for helping him stand up and talk to the Senate, for anyone who was listening, for 25 hours or whatever the total number was. This is just crazy to me. This is crazy. That this is so meaningful to so many people. What did he accomplish? What did he talk about? How many people watched the speech? And even if they did watch the speech, what did he said that's not been said? What has he protested that's not been protested? What has he added to this? How has he energized anybody? I've seen some people out there. Oz has shown me some posts of people that, she's seen on social media, how they think this is a wonderful thing. I just I don't even remotely understand that. You will never hear me come on here and talk about someone's political posturing as though it was some sort of a meaningful, measurable thing for me. Now, if it's part of the overall fight, literal fight for something, fighting for something that literally, what are they fighting for? They're just opposing Trump. Are they fighting for bigger government? What are they actually? I still don't know. You could watch that whole speech 20 times and not know what the solution is other than Donald J. Trump needs to not be the president of the United States. That is the one single takeaway that you could have from Cory Booker's speech. But I want to go back to this. I want to play the rest of this. I want you to hear these journalists going back and forth. This is priceless to me. I want you to listen to how they talk about this.
Overarching sense of the point of Booker's marathon speech.
Marathon.
Well, Lindsay, it was a speech ostensibly to protest what he says are the overhauls that this administration is conducting, not just on the federal government, but also, as Cory Booker says, on the rule of law, on U.S. foreign policy, and things of that nature. That is why.
So that's the speech. The speech that he gave, Cory Booker says, is to protest. It was a protest speech. This, by the way, was not a filibuster, which we'll get to as well in just a moment. But this was a speech that was to protest the overhauls in government that have been instituted by President Donald J. Trump. Now, people might not like the degree to which Trump is doing things, but the general consensus is that government spending, of course, has to be addressed. Waste, fraud, and abuse and unnecessary bureaucratic nonsense needs to be addressed. The border had to be secured. These things are incredibly popular. What is Cory Booker actually protesting? I don't think he knows. I just think they know that as the Democrat Party who's not in power, their job is to basically be a brake for everything, a brake on the wheels of actual progress in America. Their job, as they see it, is to throw the emergency brake and to keep any further actual progress being made under the leadership of this administration, under the leadership of the Republican Party. What is he protesting? The overhauls. The overhauls, which again, they want you to believe is cutting Social Security and Medicare. That is false. I've got a clip from Elon Musk, time permitting, we'll get into that. But Elon Musk, I mean, this is clear to anybody who cares to pay attention. They are not talking about cutting any of those sorts of programs. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. Booker, the left, want you to believe that. The Democrat Party wants you to believe that. They want you to believe that your Social Security check, your Medicare, Medicaid payment is in limbo. The only reason it would be in limbo is if it was part of a grand scheme of fraud or waste or some sort of attempt to, well, confuse or to defraud the American people through the federal government's payment system. Those are the only things. If you consider cutting fraud and abuse, cutting Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, then I guess you could say that it is, but you also should probably check yourself in to a place that actually can explain what the meaning of words are, because that is a stretch beyond any rational person's ability or desire to include cutting waste, fraud, and abuse under actual Social Security program, Medicare, Medicaid. What is he protesting? Is he protesting the deportation of criminal illegal aliens, of people who are gang members? Again, maybe as we talked about yesterday, he has a problem with the use of the Alien Enemies Act being applied here to Trinidad Aragua. Okay, maybe. Then make that point. But that doesn't need 24 hours to be made. A secure border and deportation of people who are violent criminal aliens, people who are not supposed to be here anyway and who have a violent history, having them deported, a criminal history, having them deported from this country is not something that most people are in favor of stopping. They don't want people here on our streets who are here illegally and who are committing crimes. A lot of people don't want people here illegally, period. But we're just starting with those people who are criminals. What on earth is he up there protesting? 25 hours of talking, still saying absolutely, positively nothing. Going back to the tape here. ABC News thinks Cory Booker is some sort of a hero.
Cory Booker took to the Senate floor just over 24 hours ago in a floor speech that surprised a lot of us up here on Capitol Hill. No one was expecting him to go to the floor in the manner that he did, but Cory Booker said on the floor that this is something he had planned for quite some time. He talked to allies about it. He had his staff extensively prepare here. And he's now spoken for more than 24 hours and 18 minutes. That's what breaks the record. It's notable here, Lindsay, in the way that Cory Booker, what he was addressing as he broke the record. He was talking about Strom Thurmond, a former senator.
Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button there.
A known segregationist who filibustered the Civil Rights Act. That's how Strom Thurmond obtained that record of 24 hours and 18 minutes, which Cory Booker, a black senator, has just broken, Lindsay. Again, this was political to voice protest against the Trump administration and to serve as a rallying cry for some of his fellow Senate Democrats. But Cory Booker has also cemented himself, until someone else in theory were to break that record, in Senate history.
But certainly
they act like this is LeBron James beating Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's NBA career scoring record. They act like this is something monumental. We've got to stop the game for. We got to hand out the game ball. We have to applaud. We have to act like this is some sort of accomplishment. He talked. That's a long time. I'm not saying 25 hours of talking doesn't require some preparation. But not the type, mostly the type of preparation to keep him from having to go to the restroom and those sorts of things. Not so much preparation in the words that he says, because this is what they do constantly. They give us drivel on the regular basis. It means nothing. They repeat it constantly. This is sophistry. This is political theater. This is dramacrats being dramacrats. It's entertaining for me. But this accomplished absolutely positively nothing, my friends. More to say about this. I got more of this clip to play as well. We've got Cory Booker sharing some insights and secrets on how he was able to have the courage and the wherewithal to do this for as long as he was physically able to do it, stand up and talk before the U.S. Senate, voicing his grievances that had been aired for basically 10 years already, adding nothing new to this narrative, hoping beyond hope that this somehow is some sort of a spark for the Democrat Party to somehow have relevance and energy again, my friends. We shall see, my friends. Do you know, by the way, think about this, and I think this is crazy. We spend more time taking care of our cars than we do our hearts. Think about that for just a minute. We change the oil, we rotate the tires, we keep everything running smoothly. But when it comes to our health, too many times we ignore it, we ignore maintenance, or maybe just wing it in some certain circumstances. That's where Solti comes in, my friends. Solti is an all-natural, clinically proven way to lower your cholesterol safely. No prescriptions, no doctor visits, just 2 Solti soft gels a day. It's been scientifically proven to work. It may work for you too. It's not a drug. And it has a history, a scientific-backed research. Scientific-backed research shows that it does work. So don't put it off. Start taking care of yourself today. Take care of your heart. You go to Soltea.com, SOLTEA. Promo code Todd will save you 50% off your first 3-month supply and get you free shipping. That's Soltea.com, promo code Todd, my friends. Your heart deserves better, and so do you. I've got to take a break. Back here, my friends, in just a minute.
Seeking natural solutions for your health and wellness? Look no further than Garden Root Remedy. We offer handcrafted herbal tinctures, salves, teas, and more made with only the highest quality organic herbs. We provide personalized consultations to help you find the perfect herbal remedy for your specific needs. Experience the power of nature's healing touch. Visit Garden Root Remedy online at gardenrootremedy.com. That's gardenrootremedy.com. Rooted in nature, blooming with wellness.
Gear up, level up. Tired of the same old gun shop experience? Red Team Armory is not just selling firearms. We're providing a VIP experience. Rifles, handguns, shotguns, top-tier optics, unbeatable ammo prices. We've got you covered. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, we're dedicated to helping you find the perfect setup. Fast shipping and expert advice. Visit us online at todd.redteamarmory.com. Red Team Armory. Your mission, our gear.
Hello, it's your favorite president telling Todd Huff listeners about Mega Milk Protein Powder. That's what we're calling it, Mega Milk. It's protein for patriots, okay? American-made Mega Milk destroys dad bods and builds a big, beautiful wall of mega muscle on your entire body. So true. Don't buy protein made in China. You'll be a total disaster, a weak loser. Your workouts are winning. Drink Mega Milk. Go to MegaMuscle.com and put some Trump in your pump. MegaMuscle.com.
Welcome back, my friends. So we know that Cory Booker, as they pointed out in this ABC News clip, as you know yourself from paying attention to the news or being aware of the history, Cory Booker surpassed his quote-unquote filibuster, which it wasn't a filibuster. I'll get to that in a moment. But he broke the record of Strom Thurmond. And it was noted during that ABC News update or whatever that I just played a little bit of earlier. They mentioned that, of course, it was ironic. Cory Booker is a black senator, and Cory Booker broke Strom Thurmond's filibuster record, again, even though it wasn't technically a filibuster. And Strom Thurmond, when he set the record, was actually filibustering the Civil Rights Act of 1957, my friends. 1957, Strom Thurmond filibustered the bill for a total of 24 hours and 18 minutes. That's why they came in. That's why they came in with breaking news. Cory Booker breaks Strom Thurmond's record. Now, they tell you about the Civil Rights Act. They tell you that Strom Thurmond was trying to prevent a vote on this to try to keep it from passing and all that sort of stuff. They point out that Strom Thurmond was trying to prevent that bill from passing and equal rights being applied to black Americans. And they point out that the irony of all that, and Cory Booker is black and he beats the record and all of that. But one little detail they left out, my friends, one relatively important bit of information. I challenge you today to go around and ask people at the office, ask people at home, at school, whatever, wherever you are. Now you got to find someone who's, not a just insane, delusional leftist, but you can do this with most liberals. Just say, hey, I saw Cory Booker. You might not want to throw in Spartacus to keep the emotions from getting too high, but you could say, hey, I saw that Cory Booker broke the record for the longest speech in the U.S. Senate when he passed Strom Thurmond. 24 hours and 18 minutes was Strom Thurmond's record. I don't know what Cory Booker's final tally was, 25 hours and something. But he said, you could say, I have a question for you. You know that Strom Thurmond was filibustering the civil rights bill that was introduced at the time. This was long before the Civil Rights Act was actually passed. But ask them this. Oh, this is going to light some fires, my friends. Ask them this. Which political party was Strom Thurmond a part of? Now, you'll note, and I will make sure that you know this. Strom Thurmond started off his political career as a Democrat. I'm old enough to remember Strom Thurmond. I don't know, when did he pass away? Let's see. I'm looking here. Yeah, he passed away June 26th of 2003. He served in the U.S. Senate. I believe he might have been the oldest serving U.S. senator in history. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that that's very, very possible from what I recall. So, but ask them if he was a Republican or a Democrat. Now, he changed political parties. In 1964. He became a Republican in 1964 when he started working on the presidential campaign was it Goldwater, I think, Barry Goldwater. So he switched political parties in 1964. I think it was the fall of September 16th. There it is, 1964. Thurman confirmed he was leaving the Democratic Party to work on the presidential campaign of Barry Goldwater, charging the Democrats having abandoned the people and having repudiated the U.S. Constitution. That's what he said in 1964. But this filibuster took place in 1957. 1957. And Strom Thurmond, it's a matter of fact. This is not opinion. This is not conjecture. These are the facts. Them's the facts. He was a Democrat. But I bet if you ask your colleagues, your neighbors, your classmates, people in the community, just ask them. Now, they're going to get upset about this, but these are facts. These are 100% facts, my friends. So that's worth noting. Now, I mentioned earlier that back to Cory Booker's speech, that this is not a filibuster. Now, the reason I point this out is because Strom Thurmond, whatever you look, I'm not defending what he did to filibuster the Civil Rights Act, but he had a purpose that he was trying to achieve on the Senate floor, and that was to prevent that bill from advancing. So he engaged in a filibuster. Now, this is a term that's bantered around a lot, and it loosely means in common vernacular. In common vernacular, people will use it to say someone's just talking along, talking a lot, trying to run out the clock. You can say someone's filibustering you and not letting you get a word in or whatever. That's not technically what it is, although that's how it often manifests itself, is that someone speaks for a long period of time. But it's for a specific purpose. A filibuster, so in the U.S. Senate, they have a rule. This is not in the Constitution, but they have the right to set their own rules. And they have what's called a filibuster rule. And the filibuster rule says that unless there is 3/5 of the Senate that's voting and present, prepared to advance a bill to a final vote on the Senate floor, then they can effectively engage in what's called filibustering, which means they can keep basically debate open on the Senate floor. Now, there's different ways that this is done. In fact, today we don't make people do it like they did in the past. In the past, you had to basically take the floor and continue to talk, and people would read from phone books and all that sort of stuff to keep debate open. They would not yield the floor, and they couldn't be forced to yield the floor without 3/5 of the Senate saying, hey, this dude has talked long enough, and we're going to get him out of basically for him to shut up, and we're going to call this to a final vote. It's called invoking cloture, and it takes 60 senators to do it. So in effect, what that means is on any new controversial piece of legislation, it doesn't take a simple majority vote in the Senate. If someone is willing to filibuster, and almost certainly the party not in power is prepared to filibuster anything that is significant that the other side wants to do that goes against the minority party's wishes. And so if you have 40 senators in the minority party or more who are prepared, 41, I guess, they're prepared to not invoke cloture, not bring an end to the debate, then they are in fact able to keep something from being voted on. And so, but there wasn't a bill here. So he wasn't filibustering anything. He is, in common vernacular, again, filibustering in the sense that we equate filibustering to speaking a lot and not stopping and basically running out the clock. But that's not exactly what he was doing. So, but why is this guy hailed as a hero? It got me to thinking, should I do a 25-hour podcast? Would that make me some sort of an American hero? I mean, come on. I mentioned earlier, there's two drastically different approaches for the parties in Washington, D.C. today, the Democrats and the Republicans. The Democrats engage in this sort of political theater. I'm not saying Republicans never do, and I'm not saying there's never a time for some good political theater, but this is all that the left has. As I said in yesterday's Todd Talk, this is who they are. They don't have good ideas with bad messaging. They have terrible ideas, and they have an empty form of communication. There's nothing there. These ideas are they're dead on the inside, but they try to polish them up and make them look as good as they possibly can on the outside. And they think that this is accomplished through some sort of shenanigan like we've been subjected to here with Cory Booker on the Senate floor, talking nonstop about whatever it is, airing his grievances against Trump and the Republican Party. Now, I think we live in alternate universes, my friends. I live in the world where it matters what you accomplish. I live in the world where results matter. I live in the world where words are simply just words until they actually lead us to do something about it. You can't just have wishful thinking and a nice little speech and think that that solves the problem. You need leadership. You need to make the tough choices. You need to have the strength of character and the resolve to continue to do what needs to be done in spite of the opposition, in spite of the difficulties. And that's exactly what Trump is doing. Whatever you think about the tariffs, that's what he's doing with these reciprocating tariffs. So, two diametrically opposed worldviews on display for anyone to see who cares to see, my friends. One side is all talk and show and drama. The other side, under the leadership of the Trump administration anyway, is about actually getting things done, restoring this nation to her constitutional roots, returning us to a limited style of government that doesn't have its tentacles all over the place, wasting our money and everything else. I've got to take a time out, my friends. You're listening here to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Seeking natural solutions for your health and wellness? Look no further than Garden Root Remedy. We offer handcrafted herbal tinctures, salves, teas, and more made with only the highest quality organic herbs. We provide personalized consultations to help you find the perfect herbal remedy for your specific needs. Experience the power of nature's healing touch. Visit Garden Root Remedy online at gardenrootremedy.com. That's gardenrootremedy.com. Rooted in nature, blooming with wellness.
Gear up, level up. Tired of the same old gun shop experience? Red Team Armory is not just selling firearms. We're providing a VIP experience. Rifles, handguns, shotguns, top-tier optics, unbeatable ammo prices. We've got you covered. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, we're dedicated to helping you find the perfect setup. Fast shipping and expert advice. Visit us online at todd.redteamarmory.com. Red Team Armory, your mission, our gear.
Hello, it's your favorite president telling Todd Huff listeners about Mega Milk Protein Powder. That's what we're calling it, Mega Milk. It's protein for patriots, okay? American-made Mega Milk destroys dad bods and builds a big, beautiful wall of mega muscle on your entire body. So true. Don't buy protein made in China. You'll be a total disaster, a weak loser. Your workouts are winning. Drink Mega Milk. Go to MAGAmuscle.com and put some Trump in your pump. MAGAmuscle.com.
Welcome back, my friends. Third and final segment of this, the first hour of our program. I want to remind you that one of our partners here at the Todd Huff Show is MyPillow. Mike Lindell and his employees want to thank you for your continued support of MyPillow. They have a big allotment. I shared this with you yesterday. I don't know how long this will last, but they have a big allotment of bed sheets currently that were earmarked for the big box stores this spring. They had placed an order, but apparently they backed out of their order, leaving MyPillow with a lot of extra bed sheets. And so those are now available to you. And since they've already placed this big order, they're going to pass on the savings, the wholesale prices to you, the customer, the one who will use these sheets, because there's not a middleman here. So you're going to get wholesale pricing on their Giza Dream sheets and the Percale bed sheets. That's how I'm told that's pronounced anyway, my friends. Dream queen size Giza sheets are normally $139, but you're going to get them for under $70, my friends. Half off. In fact, king size are $80. normally, well, that's what the sales price is. The Percale queen size normally is $89.98. Your wholesale price is a whopping $29.98. That's a huge discount, my friend. King size you can get for $34.98. You go to mypillow.com, use promo code Todd, you'll get these special pricings. There are also free shipping options that are available. This allotment is not going to last long. It's just the nature of, again, how they've placed this order and the big box stores backing out on them. When they're gone, my friends, they are gone. So again, mypillow.com, promo code Todd to get this special deal on these bed sheets for a limited time. All right. I've neglected to play the end of this speech here. Cory Booker, not the end of the speech, the end of this clip at ABC News, where they're praising him. They're acting like this is some tremendously great accomplishment, that this is going to change the political discourse, it's going to energize the Democrat Party, all this sort of stuff. I stopped it. There's a little bit of time left, and I want to keep playing it because I told you that I was going to do that, and I, forgot I didn't finish it. So here we go.
Significant that it would be Cory Booker, a black senator, to actually surpass Strom Thurmond, who was protesting civil rights.
As a Democrat,
he said that he's not quite ready yet, but once he ultimately does wrap up, then what?
So he hasn't been protesting any legislation in particular. When you give one of these speeches, typically you are protesting and delaying a vote on legislation. That's what Strom Thurmond was doing, for instance, over the Civil Rights Act.
As a Democrat.
What Cory Booker just did here was deliver a long speech as a form of protest, but he wasn't delaying any bill from being voted on. So the business of the Senate is just going to return back to normal here. But first, again, he has served as a rallying cry for Senate Democrats who have praised his tenacity. Chuck Schumer just did so on the floor moments ago, and this is something that Democrats have pushed their senators and other elected officials to do, is demonstrate as best they can and serve as bulwarks against the Trump administration. So this will serve as a rallying cry. But in terms of what happens next, the Senate floor returns back to normal. And Cory Booker, we assume, will sit down because he's had to stand for this entire 24-hour plus period. And also, Lindsay, he has not been able to leave the floor to do things like eat or drink or go to the bathroom.
He's a modern
and meanwhile,
day
really
American
quickly, because
hero.
I want to get to something else, but was anybody else in the room? I assume his staffers stayed, or are people going in and out throughout the night?
Wow, the staffers.
Yeah, Lindsay, I was just in the room while Cory Booker was speaking. It's filled with prominent members of the Congressional Black Caucus. In the gallery, there are staff from across the Senate, as well as some tourists who appeared to hang over. There were Democratic members of the House, some of Cory Booker's Senate colleagues in there as well, and then a packed house of course, reporters watching as well. And one of the things we saw, particularly from those Democratic members of Congress who were sitting there in the room, was an eruption of applause as Cory Booker passed that threshold and broke the record, Lindsay.
Okay, there it is. I mean, that's it. They act like this is some tremendously great accomplishment. Who are the people in the room? It's staffers, it's DC insiders, it's people who want this to be something that it's not. It's the media who's trying to amp this thing up. The guy stood up and talked for 25 hours, and we act like this is some Paul Revere moment. I mean, they act like this is the Boston Tea Party or something. This is incredibly ridiculous. This shows us that this is really the best that they've got. And it's embarrassing, my friend. It really is embarrassing. Meanwhile, Republicans are making real and substantive changes to expenses. They're exposing things that are happening in Washington, D.C. They are advancing things that are making differences in people's lives, such as border security, which we've gone through at length here, such as, again, the discoveries of Doge and so forth. Meanwhile, the Democrats are relegated to giving long speeches, acting like this is some incredible accomplishment. It's incredibly absurd and ridiculous. And listen, he's free to do this. I don't really care. I just find it super interesting. Super, I guess interesting is the right word. That this is what captivates the hearts and minds of the radical left today. I mean, what is it about this? Anybody could have done I understand 25 hours is a long time. You have to make preparations for that. That's not something everybody can do. But to act like this is some sort of an earth-changing experience is absolutely absurd. I've got to go, my friends. Thanks for listening. SEG.
Seeking natural solutions for your health and wellness? Look no further than Garden Root Remedy. We offer handcrafted herbal tinctures, salves, teas, and more made with only the highest quality organic herbs. We provide personalized consultations to help you find the perfect herbal remedy for your specific needs. Experience the power of nature's healing touch. Visit Garden Root Remedy online at gardenrootremedy.com. That's gardenrootremedy.com. Rooted in nature, blooming with wellness.
Gear up, level up. Tired of the same old gun shop experience? Red Team Armory is not just selling firearms. We're providing a VIP experience. Rifles, handguns, shotguns, top-tier optics, unbeatable ammo prices. We've got you covered. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, we're dedicated to helping you find the perfect setup. Fast shipping and expert advice. Visit us online at todd.redteamarmory.com. Red Team Armory, your mission, our gear.